Omega's White Dial Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch is one of the brand's most popular releases in recent years. You might be asking, what's the big deal? It's essentially a white dial version of the classic black dial sapphire sandwich. But for me, this is the next watch I'd add into my collection, even after considering the new first Omega in space. The Speedmaster Professional hardly needs an introduction. If you're into watches, you've definitely heard of it, especially with the Moonswatch buzz over the last 2 years. And no, the Moonswatch did not devalue the Moonwatch. Back in October 2023, Daniel Craig was spotted wearing an unreleased White Dial Speedmaster in stainless steel at Planet Omega in New York City. Fans speculated, I made tons of videos, and a year later, I finally got my hands on with it, so today I'll be breaking it down to you. Now let's start with the wearing experience. 42mm might sound large on the paper, especially if you're used to 38 to 40mm watches like me, but the Speedmaster Professional's lug-to-lug size of 47.5mm makes it wear more like a 40mm watch, and that's part of the reason why it's universally loved by all wrist sizes. It's only 13.2mm thick, and that's considering the box-shaped sapphire crystal. The bracelet is stunning. It has polished accents down the center, tapering from 20mm at the lugs to 15mm at the clasp. I've tried many Omega bracelets across different models, but this Speedmaster bracelet is my favorite. Comfortable and built solid. The clasp features the Omega logo, dual push-button security, and a handy micro-adjustment mechanism that adds up to 2mm for comfort. Some might wish for a longer adjustment, but hey, I'm just happy it gets the job done without needing an extra link. This white lacquer dial with black accents on the hands and indices is stunning. Inspired by the white astronaut suits and the iconic 1969 Alaska Project prototype, it reminds me mostly of the Seamaster Diver 300M White Dial. The red Speedmaster text and red chronograph seconds hand tip provide just the right amount of contrast. Part of the reason why I collect so many white dial watches is because they're so versatile and go with pretty much everything you wear. Whether you're dressing it up or keeping it casual, the Speedmaster is always clean. Plus, it's a strap monster. You can pair it with nearly any strap, and Omega even offers a website tool to visualize different strap combinations. I wish more brands would do that. The dial has visual depth, and that's thanks to the subdials being stepped. At 9 o'clock, you got the running seconds, while the chronograph minutes are read at 3 o'clock, and down at 6 o'clock counts 12 hours on the chronograph. That's always been a pet preference of mine to have a chronograph that can read at least 12 hours. It's an easy chronograph to use and read, which is often why I prefer a chronograph over a dive watch for timing tasks like cooking or driving. The box-shaped sapphire crystal has anti-reflective coating on the inner surface, providing a crisp view from any angle. Surrounding the dial is an aluminum bezel featuring the much-loved dot over 90, which Omega brought back in this release. There's superluminova on the hands and indices, with the 12 o'clock position exceptionally bright for easy orientation in the dark. That's all I'll say about the 12 o'clock marker. The Speedmaster is powered by the 3861 master chronometer caliber with coaxial escapement, introduced in 2019. It has a 50-hour power reserve and a stop-second feature for precise time setting. Omega guarantees its accuracy within 0 to plus 5 seconds per day, and it's anti-magnetic up to 15,000 Gauss, making it a sturdy, reliable piece. It's got the looks and all the specs you could want. The watch is also water-resistant to 50 meters, guaranteed by the Master Chronometer certification, but I would not recommend submerging it just to avoid potential damage or unnecessary servicing. Overall, the White Dial Speedmaster isn't just a looker, it's a fantastic daily watch with the quality and precision you'd expect from Omega. And don't worry if the White Dial isn't your style, the classic black dial models are still available in stainless steel, hesselite, or sapphire. I'm not here to convince you that the White Dial is better than the black dial, but it is my favorite and worth checking out. Now let's talk briefly about the reintroduction of the first Omega in space, FOIS. I think that's what people say. The original FOIS was discontinued about 4 years ago, leaving a gap in Omega's collection for the 39.7mm CK2998 case. This new version has slimmed down slightly from 14.4mm to 13.4mm, with the same straight lugs and a new flat link bracelet. It's actually thinner than my Hodinkee Speedmaster, which has the first Omega in space case, but I never thought this wore thick just because of how well proportioned it is. It features a beautiful blue-gray dial with vintage lume and the same 3861 movement. The vintage applied Omega logo sits below 12 o'clock, the alpha hands return, and the baton chronograph seconds hand is white varnished to match the white minute markings. The sapphire crystal is now curved to match the look of hesselite, which is a neat detail, and I'm interested to see where Omega takes this crystal in the future. The center also appears to have an etched Omega logo, which is only on the hesselite models as well. The flat link bracelet returns with taper and a micro adjustment in the clasp. I'm glad Omega is listening and putting micro adjustments in everything because it's long overdue and nobody's complaining about it. And I'm actually curious if this bracelet will fit my Hodinkee Speedmaster because it's also 19mm, so stay tuned for that. Something different about the first Omega in space case is the lack of crown guards, the straight lugs over the lyre lugs, and the caseback is closed with an updated first Omega in space engraving with the October 3rd, 1962 date. Now, the story of the watch is the CK2998 was the first Omega in space, and this first Omega in space was worn by astronaut Walter Schirra on the Sigma 7 mission of the Mercury program. This brings things full circle, and it closely resembles the Speedmaster 321, but about half the price at $7,900 on bracelet or $7,500 on either leather strap options. If I had to choose between these two, I'd still go for the White Dial Speedmaster, priced at $8,100 on bracelet. It's versatile, high quality, and a future classic. And despite what some might have said, the Moonswatch has not cheapened the Moonwatch. It's clear there's a big difference in quality. Now, which Speedmaster would you pick? Let me know in the comments, and if you're interested in trying on some Omega watches, feel free to stop by my store, Carrot & Co. We've been an authorized dealer for Omega for close to 3 decades. And just quick note, our store is actually going to be moving in November, so if you're going to stop by, we're just going to be a few blocks down, still in Flushing, so definitely stop by and say hello. Thanks for watching, and if you want to check out another review, check out this video link here. It's been a minute, and I'll see you in the next one.